Have you ever asked yourself what would happen if your heart gave out and no one was around to help? No family, no neighbor, just you, alone, and the sound of your own breathing. It's a frightening thought, I know. But for many seniors over 70, especially those living independently, it's a very real risk. And here's what most people don't realize. When a heart attack strikes, it doesn't always feel like a dramatic movie scene. No sudden clutching of the chest, no screaming. Sometimes it's just a tightness in your neck, a wave of fatigue, or a pressure that feels like heartburn. And by the time you ask yourself, is this serious? Precious minutes are already slipping away. That's why today I want to share 8 life-saving tips that every senior must know. Simple steps that could mean the difference between life and death if a heart attack ever strikes when you're alone. Now, before we get into it, if you care about senior health, elderly reflections, or just want more inspiration and life lessons from the elderly, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell. This kind of content might one day save your life or someone you love. Let's begin with the first tip. Recognize the real warning sign. The truth is, heart attacks don't always start with pain in your chest. For some seniors, it's discomfort in the arm, jaw, or upper back. For others, it might feel like shortness of breath or a strange kind of pressure, like something heavy is sitting right on your chest. You might even feel nauseous, break out in a cold sweat, or feel lightheaded for no clear. Take Eleanor, for example. She's 75, lives alone, and one morning while making tea, she felt a strange warmth under her jaw. It wasn't painful, but it didn't feel right. Then she noticed her breathing getting shorter and her hands started to sweat. That's when she remembered reading something about heart attacks can whisper before they scream. So instead of brushing it off, she sat down and prepared to act, and that decision might have saved her life. If something feels off, and especially if it's a combination of pressure, breathlessness, or fatigue, stop what you're doing. Don't try to tough it out. Your first step to survival is knowing your body's voice, even when it's quiet. Now, tip number 2, call emergency services immediately. I can't stress this enough. Do not wait. Don't try to drive yourself. Don't call your children first. Don't hope it goes away. Call 911. Because when it comes to a heart attack, every minute matters. The longer your heart goes without oxygen, the more damage is done. Paramedics can stabilize you, provide oxygen, administer medications, and keep your heart going on the way to the hospital. And if your symptoms worsen, because they often do, you need help to already be on the way. Let me tell you about Janice. She's 79. One evening she felt a strange ache down her left arm, and her chest got tight. She almost called her daughter, but remembered something her nurse once told her. If you think it might be a heart attack, call 911 first. Talk to your family later. So she made the call. By the time the ambulance arrived, she could barely speak. But they were ready. They had everything she needed. That one phone call saved her. Don't wait until you're sure. If you're unsure, call anyway. They won't be angry if you are wrong, but they might not get there in time if you wait. That brings me to tip number 3. Chew an aspirin immediately and calmly. If you're not allergic and you're not on blood thinners that make it dangerous, chew a 325 milligram aspirin the moment you suspect a heart attack. Don't swallow it, chew it. That gets it into your bloodstream faster. Aspirin helps thin the blood and slows clot formation, the very clots that may be cutting off your heart's oxygen supply. And in some cases, it can buy you just enough time until help arrives. Frank, 73, knew exactly where his emergency aspirin was. When he felt chest tightness creeping up his neck, he grabbed the bottle, chewed one, and sat still. His doctor later said that simple action likely prevented greater damage. So if you don't already, keep aspirin in an easy-to-reach spot, like your nightstand, kitchen drawer, even your wallet. Make sure it's not expired. Let your family know where it is too. This little white pill isn't magic, but in that moment, it can be the thing that keeps your heart beating long enough for help to get there. And once you've done that, tip number 4, sit or lie down, and I mean this literally. Stop moving. Don't unlock doors, don't grab your purse. Don't try to clean up or walk around. Find a comfortable chair or bed, sit with your back supported and rest. Keep your feet flat, breathe slowly. Let your body do one thing. Survival. Gloria, 82, was folding laundry when her chest began to feel tight. She thought maybe she should finish what she was doing first. But then she remembered her doctor's advice. If you think it's your heart, stop immediately. Sit down, let everything else wait. That decision gave her heart a break when it needed it most. Physical effort during a heart attack only strains your head further. So do less, sit still, and if you feel faint, lie on your left side with your head slightly raised. That small move can make it easier to breathe and reduce pressure on your chest. Now we've covered the first 4 critical steps. But don't go anywhere, because the next ones are often overlooked, and they can be the reason you live or don't. In part 2, we'll talk about something as simple as unlocking your door, and why it could buy you precious minutes. We'll also talk about using your smartphone the right way, and how breathing, yes, just breathing, can help steady your heart and save your life. And trust me, you won't want to miss the story of David, age 80. He did something before his heart attack that saved him in the moment he needed it most. So stay with me. Your life, or the life of someone you love, may one day depend on it. Let's continue. We've already talked about the first 4 steps that can save your life during a heart attack when you're alone: recognizing the signs, calling emergency services, chewing an aspirin, and sitting still to reduce strain on the heart. Now let's move into 4 more critical steps. Tip number 5, unlock your front door. Now this might sound like a small thing, maybe even too small to matter, but trust me, when seconds count, that locked door could be the one thing standing between you and the help you desperately need. Imagine this: paramedics arrive at your house, sirens off to avoid startling you, and they're ready with all their equipment. But your door is locked. They have to wait. Call the fire department. Break down the door. That's precious time lost. And if your condition worsens, if you pass out in those final moments before they get in, well, sometimes they just arrive too late. That's why unlocking the door, if you can still move safely, is so important. David, 80, lived alone in a small condo. When his heart began to pound and he felt that crushing fatigue, he called 911 immediately. Then slowly and carefully he walked to the door and unlocked it. He left it slightly open, then sat down. Paramedics later told him that decision saved nearly 2 minutes, and possibly his life. Now, if you're too far from the door or feel dizzy, don't risk it. Your safety comes first. But if you're near and feel steady enough, go ahead and unlock it. Better yet, plan ahead. Consider a medical lockbox for your spare key, or a smart lock with emergency access for responders. Preparation today could save your life tomorrow. Tip number 6. Use your phone speaker and medical ID. Once you've called emergency services, switch your phone to speaker mode. This way, you don't have to hold it. You can focus on breathing, staying still, and letting the dispatcher talk you through those terrifying moments. Holding a phone to your ear may sound easy, but during a heart attack, it's not. Your hands may shake, your breath may shorten, that extra strain could push your heart into further distress. But with speaker mode, you stay hands-free, and the dispatcher can hear everything. Your breath, your voice, even changes in your tone. That's valuable information, but even more important is your medical ID. On every you don't need an app. On iPhone, it's under Health. On Android, it's in your emergency settings. This tiny detail matters, because if you pass out before paramedics arrive, your phone may be the only thing that speaks for you. Susan, 80, blacked out just 2 minutes before her ambulance got there. But thanks to her phone's medical ID, responders knew not to give her penicillin, and they were able to call her son immediately. That one preparation made a huge difference. Set it up today. It takes less than 5 minutes, but it could speak for you when you no longer can. Tip number 7, slow your breath to steady your heart. In the middle of a heart attack, panic is natural. Your mind races, your chest tightens, fear takes over. But here's something powerful. Your breath is still under your control, and if you use it right, it can help stabilize your heart just long enough to stay alive. This isn't about yoga or deep meditation. It's about keeping your nervous system from spiraling. When you panic, your body releases stress hormones. These speed up your heartbeat, increase oxygen demand, and put more strain on an already struggling heart. But by breathing slowly and rhythmically, you can reduce that stress. Try this. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it briefly, then exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do it again. Keep repeating it. Each breath signals to your body, calm down, stay grounded. Frank, 84, told me he used to practice that simple breathing every day, just 5 minutes before bed. He thought it was silly at first, but when his heart attack hit and he felt like the walls were closing in, he went straight to the breath. Inhale 4, exhale 6. Again and again. That pattern gave his body something to hold on to, something steady. By the time help arrived, he was scared. Breathing won't fix your arteries. It won't stop the damage. But it will keep you calm. It will slow your system just enough to give your heart a fighting chance. Now, before we get to the final bonus tip, I want to ask you something. Are you still here? If you're watching, if this has helped you, even just a little, please comment number 7 below. It means more than you know. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe so we can keep sharing senior health, elderly wisdom, and real-life lessons to help you live longer, better, and more prepared. Now, tip number 8, the one most people overlook but maybe your strongest defense: prepare before it ever happens. Most of what I've told you only works if you can act in time. But the truth is, you may not always have that time. That's why preparation is survival. Let's talk about Harold, age 81. After his friend passed away from a sudden heart attack at home, Harold made a promise to himself. He started keeping aspirin in his wallet and on his nightstand. He set up his medical ID. He practiced breathing. He even printed a small card that listed emergency steps, kept right by the phone. And when it was his turn, when the pain came and the room spun, he already knew what to do. He didn't panic, he acted. That's what saved him. Preparation is about reducing decisions when you're scared. It's about giving your future self the tools to survive when your present self is overwhelmed. So here's what I want you to do today. Check your aspirin, add your medical info to your phone, write down emergency contact, and you'll know exactly how to help. In part 3, we'll go even deeper. I'll share real-life stories of recovery, what happens after you survive a heart attack, and how to rebuild your strength, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Because surviving is just the beginning. Living well after 70, that's the mission. If this spoke to you, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more real stories, honest advice, and reflections. Made just for you. You've made it this far, and that already tells me something. You care about your life, about your independence, and about staying prepared no matter your age. In the first 2 parts of this video, we walk through every critical step you must take if a heart attack strikes and you're alone. But surviving that moment, that's just the beginning. Today in this final part, we're going to talk about what happens next, what it means to recover, to rebuild, and to live with more strength, more peace, and more clarity than. Let's begin with this truth. Recovering from a heart attack after 70 isn't just about your heart, it's about your spirit, your mindset, your routine, and your willingness to choose life every single day. Too many seniors survive emergency, but then fall into silence. They isolate, they lose motivation, they stop believing that joy is possible again. But I'm here to tell you, your second chance is not a burden, it's a gift, and I want to show you how to hold it well. First, let's talk about physical recovery. After a heart attack, your body needs time, and your heart, already older, already weathered, needs kindness. You may be told to walk more, eat differently, take medications, and at first that might feel overwhelming. I've seen it time and time again. Seniors who once felt independent now feel weak. They say, I used to walk a mile every day. Now I can't get across the room. But here's what I remind them. Strength doesn't come back all at once. It comes in moments, in deep breaths, in small steps. Richard, 76, began his recovery by walking to his mailbox and back. That was it, just once a day. But week after week, step after step, he built his strength back. Today, he's hiking again, slow and steady, but smiling. Don't measure yourself by who you were before the heart attack. Measure yourself by your decision to keep moving today. Now let's talk about something deeper, emotional recovery. A heart attack doesn't just wound the body, it shakes your sense of safety, of control. Many seniors feel afraid afterward, afraid to sleep alone, afraid to go outside, afraid they'll be a burden to others. That fear is real, but it doesn't have to be permanent. You're allowed to feel scared, you're allowed to feel vulnerable, but don't let those feelings steal your future. There's a quiet strength in showing up again, in laughing, in calling a friend, in making breakfast. Every small act of life is a victory. Gloria, 83, told me she was terrified to be alone after her heart attack. But instead of giving up, she made a simple promise. Every day, I will do one thing that makes me feel alive. Some days that was playing the piano, some days it was just opening the window, but over time, her confidence came back. So will yours. Another part of the journey is what I call the invisible healing. It's not about scars or test results. It's about forgiveness, reflection, making peace. Many survivors start asking deep questions. Why did I survive? What am I supposed to do now? What if I don't get another chance? These are good questions. Questions only someone who's lived through something can ask. Don't ignore them, sit with them, maybe write them down. Maybe talk to someone, a friend, a grandchild, a counselor. I remember Paul, 82, after his heart attack, he sat on his porch for hours every evening, just watching the sky. One day he told me, I used to chase things. Now I just appreciate. Sometimes healing is less about doing and more about noticing what's already here. And that, my friend, is wisdom. That's the kind of elderly wisdom the world needs more of. So how do you truly live well after surviving something so serious? You start small. Hydrate, stretch, move your body gently every day, talk to someone. Eat foods that love your heart. Keep your medications where you can see them, but also laugh. Light a candle. Read that book you always meant to. Visit a place that brings you peace. Make a new memory. Don't let the fear of what might happen again rob you of the life that's happening now. And if you're feeling alone in all this, remember, you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not a burden. You are someone who's lived through decades of change, heartbreak, laughter, and strength. You've seen things younger people can't imagine. You carry memories this world will never fully know. And even now, even after all you've faced, you still have something powerful left. Choice. The choice to live gently. The choice to live wisely. The choice to live fully. So before we close, I want to leave you with one final thought. A quote from an elderly survivor I met many years ago. Her name was Margaret, and she had this calm way of speaking, like the world couldn't shake her. She said, you don't survive a heart attack to go back to who you were. You survive so you can become who you were always meant to be. I never forgot that. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments. Just write "still here" or "I'm ready to live." I read every word, and your messages remind me why we keep creating these videos. For people like you, for those who still believe in life after 70, who know that motivation doesn't fade with age, that reflection belongs strength, that healing belongs to all of us. If this video helped you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. It really helps the channel, and it lets us keep bringing you content that matters. Also, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your city or state in the comments below. Let's build a community of wisdom and support wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and thank you for choosing to stay. Until next time, take care of your heart and let it carry you forward.